Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and go through some of the refinements and amendments that I made with regard to Revelation 1. In the previous video that I did regarding this Revelation live stream series, and no, this is not a live stream because it's only going to be a few minutes. I read through what I had written about Revelation 1. And as I was going through that, I realized that there were some things that I could clarify and reduce the wordiness of, and so I did that. So and I'm just going to point out these changes that I made, not going to reread the whole thing. I'm just going to point out the changes. So in the very beginning, on page 1 of what I wrote, Revelation 1 called Receiving the Revelation. Here is what I made amendments to. I said the apocalypse or revelation of Jesus Christ is his second coming. The details of this event are captured in Revelation 19. However, there's much to discuss before we get to that point, and we will be sure to discuss it all. So here's the changes that I made. Next, we learn this revelation was given to John. In a few verses, we will learn more about who John was and what his circumstances were. Most importantly, however, we learn the revelation was given to John directly by God. And here's the part that I was kind of struggling with. How do I explain this? So here is what I amended. I said, yet Revelation 1:1 says the revelation was signified or communicated by the Lord's angel. When we get to Revelation 10, we will see the reappearance of this angel. As we will come to understand more thoroughly on our journey, there are a significant number of Old Testament references and images used in the book of Revelation, and this is one of them. In the Old Testament, the Lord's angel would have been referred to as the angel of the Lord. Let us not be confused by considering this to be any ordinary angel. The angel of the Lord that we are told is communicating this revelation to John is none other than the very same angel who appeared as the pre-incarnate Christ in the Old Testament. He's referred to as the Theophany or the Christophany, and is the same angel of the Lord who Jacob wrestled with in Genesis, as well as the same angel of the Lord who led Israel as a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night in Exodus. The reason for replicating this depiction of Christ in Revelation will become clearer when we get to Revelation 10, and it has to do with the necessity of differentiating him and his voice from other angels, and specifically from the angel which has the voice of the seventh trumpet, who also appears in that chapter. Thus, the imagery of Christ as an angel is introduced very early in Revelation, so that when we get to Revelation 10, we will already know who that same reference regards. If you remain uncertain about these statements, simply read on until we get to the last half of Revelation 1, and we shall learn precisely who this angel is that is communicating the revelation to John. So that's a little bit of clarification that I added regarding why Jesus would be depicted as an angel. He's the angel of the Lord from the Old Testament, and there's a reason for that, because he's going to be reintroduced that way in a later chapter. So you're learning about him in that manner now, so that when you come across it again, you know exactly who is being referred to. There is another thing that I wrote that I amended, and this regards the kingdom. The prophecies of the establishment of the righteous kingdom. And speaking specifically about Revelation 1:3 and the blessings as a result of reading, hearing, and keeping those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So I say, what is this special blessing? Well, I cannot say it's limited to one thing only, for it surely is not, but it does include receiving the crown of righteousness. And then I quote 2 Timothy 4:7-8. Say, unfortunately, many people believe this crown to be associated with looking forward to the rapture. It is not. And all you need to do is read 2 Timothy 4:1. Talks about what appearing. The appearing end is kingdom. Not the rapture. Second coming. Said it is a reward for loving his appearing. That means it's forward looking with hope and anticipation to the time when Jesus will return to earth and all the righteous will begin there forever with him. It is forward looking to the second coming and the establishment of his kingdom on earth. After all, that is the commission we were given to take to the ends of the earth. It is the reason our feet have been shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Gospel means good news, and the good news is that Jesus is coming back. He will return to establish a righteous and peaceful kingdom, and we will get to live with him forever if we choose him. As such, the kingdom is referred to as the joy of the Lord, and exclusion from the kingdom is outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It's important to understand that the gospel of the kingdom is the same as the preparation of the gospel of peace. It's preparing people for the time when Jesus will return to establish a righteous and peaceful kingdom. The next thing that I amended or updated was talking about the voice of the trumpet. And I just missed including one of the most obvious references to Jesus' voice as of a trumpet, which is actually exactly as it's written in Revelation 1. In Revelation 1:10, it says, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet. Well, he says the very same thing. Jesus' voice is referred to as a great sound of a trumpet. In Matthew 24:29, the Lord's day is judgment day, the day of the second coming. And John is hearing a great voice as of a trumpet on that day, a picture of the glorified Christ as he will appear on that day. Well, Matthew 29 refers to Jesus and his voice on that same day. Matthew 24:29 through 31. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, the stars shall fall from heaven, the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And I do believe those were the only updates that I made. But I just wanted to add clarification in case anyone was unsure about some of the things I previously stated. So hopefully that's not more confusing to kind of just give those updates. But I did want to share them with you. And of course they will be included in the written study when I revise it, which I will be uploading to academia as soon as I get through the first of 7 letters to the 7 churches, which I will be doing forthwith. So I'll see you guys soon.